Today we've got the first look at the new OnePlus Open, as well as details on the launch and specs, so let me know in the comments who out there is excited for the new OnePlus Open, and don't forget to hit subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech. So first story of the day, we've got news that while the OnePlus Open was meant to be launching in August, it's now been pushed back to late September or maybe even early October. Max Jamba tweeted to say that it has been pushed back but for good reason, and he says the BOE displays being used didn't meet the quality, so they've had to turn to Samsung for some new panels. We've also got a tweet from Yogesh Bra, and he says that it's not only due to the displays, but also due to the ongoing issues with the Nokia licensing agreements. Now last week I showed you the first look at the OnePlus Open, and this was based on the leaked information from OnLeaks, but it turns out that that design was actually an early prototype, and it is going to be slightly different. Now OnLeaks has provided these new updated renders from the pre-production units, and I've also used these to base my latest renders on, and as you can see there are a few changes. For a start, the external display is now much wider, which is an improvement that I'm very happy to see. We've also got a more rounded frame, the selfie camera is now in the top right of the internal display, and finally we've got a change to the camera module layout, including a new sensor which is believed to be a new time of flight sensor. Now when it comes to early design leaks, OnLeaks is always spot on, so we can be pretty certain that this is correct. Now for those excited, we're now going to run through the full specs, design and the pricing of the new OnePlus Open to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So for the OnePlus Open, we've got a 6.3-inch 120Hz OLED display for the external, and then a 7.8-inch 120Hz foldable OLED for the main internal display. The exact resolutions are unknown at the moment, but we get an ultra-thin glass protection for the internal display and Gorilla Glass Victus 2 to protect the external display. Now we get a 32-megapixel punch-hole camera on the external display as well, and then on the inside folding display it's a 20-megapixel punch-hole camera in the top right corner. On the rear, we get a 48-megapixel primary camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide and a 64-megapixel telephoto, along with the new sensor which is believed to be a time-of-flight sensor. And while we don't know the level of optical zoom just yet, I'm going to estimate it's going to be a 3 or a 5 times lens. It's all powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it comes with 16GB of RAM along with 256GB of storage, and it packs a 4800 mAh battery with 67W fast wired charging, but it doesn't look like we'll be getting any wireless charging on the OnePlus Open. It's coming with 5G, Bluetooth 5.3 and Wi-Fi 6E, and of course it's going to ship with Oxygen OS 13.1, which is based on Android 13. It's launching in late September or early October, and the price is currently unknown, but being that it is a foldable, it's of course going to be expensive, and I estimate that we're going to be looking at something like $1,600 to $1,700, but hopefully I'm wrong and it is a little bit cheaper. Now for their first folding phone, the OnePlus Open looks incredible, but at the same time it's not really their first folding phone, as OnePlus is a subsidiary of Oppo and they've already launched some folding phones. But this means for those of you that like the OnePlus operating system, branding and looks, we hopefully won't get any issues for their first fold thanks to Oppo's previous experience. Now of course it's not long until we get the official release from OnePlus, and of course if anything else comes in the meantime, I'm going to be sharing it straight away, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.